up, guys? I'm Britt.
I'm Ness.
I'm Liv.
And this is
Strictlyflix.
So, in our last video, we introduced ourselves as the Chick Flicks. We decided to change our name just to avoid any trademark issues and any copyright infringements. So, from now on, we are
Strictlyflix.
So, in this video, we want to talk about the Oscars, more specifically, the Best Picture category, which is the biggest category of the night.
Right.
So 2019 was kind of weak as far as movies go, but there are some really good movies in this category that we had the opportunity to check out over the past weeks since, they released the nominations. So what we wanted to do is we just wanted to review those movies, give our take on who we think is going to take home the Best Picture Oscar. And we also wanted to place a little bet with ourselves. So we thought that whoever accurately guesses right, obviously, is the winner. Those that lose have to show up on our next episode with something crazy on whatever that may be. So I plan to win, so that has nothing to do with me. But these two, might need to start picking out their outfit sooner rather than later. So we just wanted to go over the category really quick, just kind of let you guys know what movies are in that Best Picture category if you didn't know. And then we'll go ahead and give our guess on who we think is going to take it home. So the movies that were nominated for Best Picture are 1917, Little Women, Parasite, Ford vs. Ferrari, Jojo Rabbit, The Marriage Story, Irishman, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Joker. So, in that category, there are some good movies, but there are some ones that we didn't get a chance to see. Right. So, what we're only going to talk about is the movies that we did see and choose from those if we can. Right. So, I'll start by saying what I did manage to see in the past weeks were Jojo Rabbit, The Marriage Story, Irishman, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Joker, and Parasite. And honestly, out of those couple movies there, it's already a tough choice.
Right.
So, just to, I guess narrow it down for myself, my top three, I would have to say, would be Joker, Parasite, or The Irishman. The Irishman, it took me a day and a half to watch that movie.
Yeah. But
it was well worth it.
Yeah,
very evenly paced. Scorsese did a phenomenal job of pacing that movie out, making sure that the action didn't override the story. Mm-hmm. And the story was told beautifully. So much so that people really believe that they got the full story on what happened from this movie alone. It was told very well, very seasoned actors.
Legendary.
Yeah, legendary. And so I believe that movie has the potential to be a Best Picture winner.
Definitely.
My top movies, honestly, it's between Joker and Parasite. Joker was just a really, really good movie. Mm-hmm. I know it didn't, do so well overall with people. Some people thought they were going to get a Batman Joker,
Joker.
Which is, when you think about the past Batman movies and you got Heath Ledger, it is really hard to see anyone else in that Joker character other than Heath Ledger. But this movie didn't really stick to what you expected, and I think that's why a lot of people were disappointed, because they were looking for the bang bang and the action, but this wasn't that. This movie was really
origin.
Yeah, it was an origin story more than anything, but I didn't think anything about comics or Batman until the end.
Or even action.
Yeah, I didn't think anything about that, because the movie was, it basically, you look at the picture of a regular person in society struggling with mental health who can't find his footing in the world but just wants to be accepted. Right. That was really the concept of this movie. And I didn't go into it looking for a Batman tie-in, which you did get it, but I wasn't looking for it because the story was already being so beautifully told. It was already so relatable up until that point. And so when they gave you the Batman tie-in, you're like, oh, okay. Like, that just made the movie that much better. But without that tie-in, it still was a really good movie. Very good acting from Joaquin Phoenix. So I think it also has potential to take home the best picture, if not, honestly, shut out everything else and just win it. So, And then my top choice, Parasite. What a good movie. And this is the first time that I heard about a movie and it was across the board raves. I didn't hear anyone say anything bad about this movie.
One thing.
When I was looking through like comments and stuff, because I first came across this movie on Facebook. I was scrolling through Facebook and I happened to see a trailer for it. And I watched it and I was very curious. And I started, as people do, reading through the comments. And everyone said this was a movie that kept them on their feet. And it was just so good. Directorial genius. No one has done anything like this. And I honestly think he set the bar very high for people to kind of step it up substance-wise. And like really making sure that movies hit home and that people can relate and that they leave and the movie is constantly on their mind. That's how you know, in my opinion, that's how you know you saw a good movie, when it's still lingering days later, weeks later, and you're still trying to pick it apart and really, find the hidden message in there. And when you do find the hidden message in this movie, it blows you away and you're like, this is a good movie. So, if Joker doesn't take it home, I really think Parasite will do it. Even though it's nominated in another category, I think Parasite has the potential to just sweep whatever it's nominated in. It has the potential. It's that good. What do you think, Ness?
I have to second that. I feel as though Parasite across the board is loved by the world.
Yeah.
I feel like Parasite is a movie that our society as a whole should definitely look into. I think that's why it's getting a lot of the rage, because a lot of the characters in the story you can relate to in your own personal family. You definitely can relate to. And I feel like, the psychological aspect that the movie takes, and it shows, how a good person can do bad things for good intentions and vice versa, people doing bad things for good reasons. So it gives you different perspectives. It gives you different personalities. Some people are in the movie are trying to finesse and scheme and lie. Other people are trying to just survive and be good people while being stuck in their present situation. There were some people that were just tired of being stuck, always losing, and they wanted to achieve something better or just be better. So it just gives you a grand scheme of how humans interact with each other, especially families and friends, and all the things that they will do to get the things that they think they want at that time. So I could definitely see Parasite taking everything home, because it's a phenomenal movie. I would definitely put that as my first choice. My second choice, I would say The Irishman. I second Brittany again. I feel like the movie was beautifully done. It was paced amazingly. The CGI was the bomb. I haven't seen anything like it since Avatar. Very on point. Good story. And it was just great actors, seasoned. It was just good. So I could definitely see them taking home trophy. And I would say my last one would be Joker. Joker, I feel as though, is actually a number one type movie. I'm not saying, just because I'm saying the last doesn't mean that it takes anything away from the movie. The movie as a whole was good. Me personally, Joker gave me Heath Ledger vibes, but just a different version. It was very different category. It was very dark and it was very personal, and you were able to see a different side and storyline of the actual Joker. Usually when you think of the Joker, you think of loud, obnoxious, just doing things and just being evil because he spites Batman. Right. But in this situation, you get to see, how it was created, how it came about, and that he originally wasn't a bad person. It's just that he was a good person put in bad situations, and he got tired of the outcome. So the only way that he could find strength in himself was to do things that made him feel better and stand up for himself. And it may have been in the wrong way, but I can totally relate because we live in a world where it's society based. Mm-hmm. And if you're not on board with what everybody's doing, you kind of get shunned. Mm-hmm. So, and you never really hear the story of those people who get shunned. You just hear the reactions that they give after the fact.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So I like that about Joker. So
everyone has a story. That's really what this movie shows you. So, everyone has a story.
If Joker, the only reason why I'm saying Joker is not my number one is because it was received 50-50. And I feel like with the Oscars, they're going to go based off of the fans, even though it is a phenomenal story and it deserves to win. If it wins, I'll be a little bit shocked only because, the received that it was 50-50.
Right.
It was either you liked it or you didn't. But if they win, they deserve it. So those are my three. Yeah. My three top movies: Parasite first, Irishman second, and Joker as a runner-up. Okay. But it has potential definitely to be number one.
Yes, definitely.
All right, so my picks. So I'm gonna go with 1917 as to win the big category.
Okay.
Even though completely going into it blind, haven't seen the movie yet. Right. Definitely plan to see it. So probably by our next video, we'll all have seen it.
Yeah.
But I'm going with the popular vote. I really feel like 1917 is going to steal this away. Simply because of the buzz that it's getting is coming hot off of its SAG Award win for Best Picture. Mm-hmm. So it's just too much buzz going on with this movie, and I really feel like it's going to take it. Yeah. Based off of what we've seen preview wise, the cinematography looks phenomenal. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I believe this movie is nominated for Best Cinematography. I think it for sure is going to take that because it's beautiful. It's a beautifully shot film. Mm-hmm. But as far as like runner up for me, Parasite. Definitely I want Parasite to win so bad. I want this movie to win so bad because it's such a necessary movie. Mm-hmm. It's such a real movie.
It's real.
It shows what a family and what individuals are willing to do for their family to see them succeed and to see them survive. Like to do whatever is necessary to survive. And I feel like especially within Korean culture, they are all about family over everything and everyone. Yep. And they do everything in their power to make sure that their own is successful and taken care of before they even worry about anything else. Right. So I feel like Parasite definitely shows that, it really gives an example of how all minority cultures should be. Right. They should be focused on their own culture and making sure that their own is straight and successful and in the position to be successful. Whereas everything is so class driven, society driven. Right. If you're not of this type of family, you're basically treated as nothing. You're not even worth a second glance or thought. Right. So I definitely think Parasite was so much a necessary movie, and I really wanted to win, but because this movie is also nominated
for so many other things,
for a lot of other things, and especially with it being nominated for Best International Film, like I feel like it would take that first trophy for the night, and then just be great. It's great you're acknowledged as Best Picture, right? And leave it at that. Like I definitely don't see it taking both of those categories, and that's the reason why I feel like it won't win Best Picture simply because it's nominated for so many other things, especially Best International Film. So
I could agree with that too.
Of course, I'm with you guys on Joker. Like I better be on board with Joker because Joker is just such a phenomenal movie. It's a phenomenal story, and it's an honest story because I feel like that's just a glimpse of how people in this world are treated when they have some sort of mental illness or mental disability, where just look at the times that we're living in now where a lot of these programs are being cut off.
Yeah, especially for
and that's mostly where mental health is targeted of low income and minorities. So I mean, although Joker's character, he's not necessarily a minority. He is a white man, but still, nonetheless, he's not of wealth.
Right.
So he definitely is the bottom man of the totem pole, and to make it so bad that he also has these severe, really severe mental health issues.
Mm-hmm.
And here, the help that he needs to be able to operate are cut off, or like the rug is pulled right.
And that was a good thing that I like that they did that, because it kind of goes into where the mental illness came from. I mean, naturally, me personally, I just always thought the Joker was crazy, and he had this personal beef with Batman.
Yeah,
I didn't know there was a story behind it.
And that's exactly how people with mental health are treated. They're just brushed aside as, oh, you're just crazy. You're crazy. Let's put you in a box so that way you keep the crazy contained. And it definitely shed a light on mental health and people getting the help, the proper help that they need. But between Parasite and Joker, I would love to see either one of those movies win. But because of the popularity and the buzz, like 1917, I really feel like 1917 is going to take it.
I can agree with that, because it gives me those Dunkirk vibes. Didn't Dunkirk? So good. Didn't they win a lot of awards when it came out? Yeah. And I feel like the cinematography is kind of similar. Like with Dunkirk, everything was kind of like a dark and I don't know how to explain it, but it had that color scheme to it.
Hollywood just has, like, over the years, Hollywood has just always had this fascination with war movies. Yeah. So this is just another one to add to the mix.
Yeah.
Okay. So, official picks. I'm going with Parasite to take the award home. You're going with...
I'm going with Parasite.
Okay.
And that's not fair.
What? Well, okay.
So
I'm going to go with The Irishman.
She's going with Parasite because she doesn't want to be the one looking crazy next week. She's going with Parasite. No, honestly, Parasite,
no, it'll make it interesting.
It'll make it so interesting.
It's either one of us. It's either one or two of y'all sitting here that's going to be looking crazy. My official pick, and I'm sticking by it, is 1917.
But you know what? I can agree with 1917 too, because I can see the potential. There is a lot of buzz around this movie. I can't really speak on it because I haven't seen it yet, but there's a lot of buzz around this movie.
Right. So I'm willing to bet looking crazy in our next video on a movie I have not even seen yet.
But you know what?
Risky business.
I'm gonna take a stance, and I'm gonna go with The Irishman.
Okay, so we got Parasite, The Irishman, and 1917.
And just to throw out there, Little Women might win too.
It's possible.
Anything is possible.
Anything is possible. And if there, like I said, if there has to be a curveball, The Marriage Story. I really like The Marriage Story, guys. Right. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Okay, guys. So those are our picks. If you have a pick, you can leave it in the comments below. Do not forget to like and subscribe. Once again, I'm Britt.
I'm Ness.
I'm Liv.
And this is Strictly Flix.